I've loved you from the first moment I saw you. And then they kissed under the golden sunset by the sea. Oh, it's over already. What a pity. Their love story is beautiful, but sadly, it only exists in books. I've read nearly all of Florian's novels. I wonder what he's like. Probably as sweet and gentle as his characters. My name is Vanessa. I live in France, in a castle, just like a princess. But my love story, it's not so serene. Valentine's Day is coming up, and my mother is already on my case. Darling, get ready for tonight's party. There will be some dashing gentlemen there. I'm not interested, Mum. My mom is a beautiful politician. Even at nearly 40, she still turns heads. Vanessa, come here, darling. I want you to meet someone. He's Antoine. A rich and gorgeous guy, but a bit over the top. He's the son of the city mayor, so he's kind of famous. You look stunning, especially in that dress. I know who picked it for you. None other than the elegant Madame Noe. What a smooth talker. He really knows how to charm my mum. It would be wonderful if you became my son-in-law, Mum. One morning, I was wandering in the park, completely engrossed in the last chapter of Florian's latest romance novel. It's been a while since he published a new book. Maybe he stopped writing because he's not well known. Suddenly, I stepped on something soft protruding from the grass. What's that? Oh my God, a dog was staring at me. Easy now, easy. Who's a good boy? Uh-oh, words don't seem to work on him. I'm sorry, don't bite me. When I saw a small bookstore at the end of the street, I knew it would save my life. I ran. Wait, stop. I crashed into someone, and we both fell to the ground in pain. I've never felt so embarrassed. My mum would go crazy if she knew her refined daughter just ran for her life from a dog. Can you get off me, please? Sorry, he said. I'd never met him before. Is he new here? Makes sense. This bookstore is also new. No, don't open the door. The dog might still be there. Lurts. Like I have not one but two uninvited guests, he muttered. I said I'm sorry. Please get rid of it so I can leave. He just shrugged, picked up my high heel, and before I could react, he threw it far away. The dog chased after it and disappeared. I was stunned. Those Jimmy Choo heels were a gift from my mum for my 17th birthday. You did well running in those heels, he said. If you hadn't bumped into me, who knows what could have happened to you? I couldn't argue, because he was right. I mumbled a thank you and left. I hope I never run into him again. What a terrible day. So annoying. But the worst was yet to come. When I got home, I found my mum sitting with Antoine. Why was he here? Vanessa, honey, you should start dating instead of always burying your nose in those romance novels. Antoine is a good match for you. It would be wonderful if you two dated and got married. Mom, what are you saying? I've only talked to him once. We'll have plenty of opportunities to get closer. Just say yes. No way. I said, I don't want to love because I don't believe in love. My mum's attitude was oddly persistent. Antoine is a good boy, dear. He comes here every day just to see you. I had to do something. Something to stop this? But I already have a boyfriend. What? I just blurted it out. SOS. He's a CEO of a company abroad. But it worked. Mum stopped pushing me, and Antoine looked utterly frustrated. The only problem now is that they want to meet my boyfriend. I'm doomed. Never expected to put myself in such a tricky situation. I was totally panicked. There was no way I'd actually get a real boyfriend. Aha, I'll just hire a guy to play my boyfriend. But the plan was a total disaster. All the guys I considered hiring turned out to be weird. I'm just afraid I might fall for you. Oh, who wouldn't like that beautiful face of yours? Ooh. If things got out of control, they would ruin my whole plan. Then, I was startled to see the dog from yesterday. But today it seemed kind of cute. Well, it did chew up my expensive shoes. Oh wait, it's you, the guy from the bookstore. Chased by the dog again today. He smirked. Stop joking around. I came here today to discuss $1 billion business deal. And I spilled everything to him, Louis, about my dilemma. All right. Now tell me, what's in it for me? Of course, this bookstore of yours is quite outdated, and I can make it appear in the city center. To be sure, let's make a contract. Fine, I'll pay in advance. I took Louis to a men's clothing store to buy a new suit. And when he stepped out of the fitting room, he really did look like a CEO. Quite handsome, too. That evening, I brought Louis to my house, and surprise, surprise, Antoine was there. Antoine said he wanted to join us for dinner. The more the merrier, right? Not fun at all. Just another obstacle. I was trembling. If the truth came out, my mum would definitely go ballistic. And the worst part is, I would have to really date someone. Mom, this is my boyfriend. Nice to meet you, dear. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Noe. You're the most elegant woman I know, of course, and your beautiful daughter has inherited much from you. Wow, impressive. So, what kind of CEO are you in the US? Antoine asked. CEO. Oops, I forgot to tell him about that. I need to think fast. Switch topics. No, Louis was faster. Currently, I'm the chairman of a joint stock company, related to books, publishing books. You know, quite busy, but I still make time for Vanessa. Our eyes met, and his hand squeezed mine tighter. Oh, maybe that was a bit too much. After dinner, my mom seemed quite pleased with my fake boyfriend, but Antoine was not. He kept that heavy face until he left. Even though the play was somewhat successful, Louis and I had a heated argument right outside the mansion. Can't believe you're so good at this, B. Why don't you become an actor, or at least a writer? You've got talent. Duh. Thanks for the compliment. And also for the extra gift. That guy nearly choked me several times with his economics-related questions. You got paid to do that. Then that's an extra cost. For the next few weeks, I had peace in my life, as my mom no longer doubted our relationship. Louis still picked me up every day, but we would part ways at the end. Louis and I looked at each other, both understanding what Antoine was referring to. We only had one secret between us. I can explain. You rejected me, Vanessa, indirectly, but I never believed him. CEO of what? A publishing conglomerate? Lies. I'll give you the choice to end this lie yourself, or your mother will know the truth. And with that, he stormed off. I felt a wave of guilt wash over me. Tides. I'd thought a simple lie could cover up the truth, but it was just making things worse. I'm sorry, Louis, I dragged you into this mess. Ah, what a waste. Antoine's the mere son, and if he knows about me and my little bookstore, there's no way he'll let me do business here anymore. I have enough money to relocate your bookstore to another city or even another country. Money doesn't solve everything, miss. Antoine is a jerk and your mother is selfish. Why would she force her daughter to love someone she doesn't care for? Hearing him say it out loud, all my pent-up frustration just boiled over. I couldn't take it anymore. What about you? A poor guy with a tiny bookstore. You think one day you could own a real publishing company. Is that your dream? Keep dreaming, Ty. I don't need you or this damn contract anymore. Louis stood there, completely stunned, his face a mask of hurt. But he hurt me too. We walked past each other like strangers, as if we would never meet again. I returned home, and the sight of Antoine sitting with my mum made me chuckle bitterly. Louis was right. Antoine really is a jerk. Mum, before I talk to you, I want to say I never want to see Antoine again. There will be no love or wedding between you and me. Please leave. He shot up from his seat, his face contorted in rage. He looked like a wild animal, but there was nothing he could do. He stormed out furiously. I should have been this firm from the very start. For the first time since my parents' divorce, I finally sat down and had a real talk with my mum. I thought beautiful love doesn't exist in real life. Silly girl. I know you're affected by what your father did, but don't think love is foolish. Love will come when you meet the right person. Mum and I decided to go to the US for a long vacation. Life was good, but I always felt like something was missing. Surprisingly, I could still buy Florian's books in the US. I picked up a newly released novel I was eager to read, but the more I read, the more I realized the story mirrored my own. A foolish young lady who doesn't believe in love, trying to hire a guy to be her fake boyfriend to deceive her parents. But, in the end, they genuinely fall in love. So silly. How could I have feelings for Louis? Oh, why am I even thinking about him? But why? Do you know the writer? The writer. Antoine brought all sorts of proof to show Louis was a fake boyfriend. Turns out he's a writer. I think his pen name is Florian or something. I don't remember much because he's not very famous. My heart stopped. I hadn't misheard. Louis is Florian. So this story, he wrote it for me. It felt like a jolt of electricity ran through me, and my mind was clearer than ever. Mum, I found my true love. We caught a late flight and returned to France that very day. As soon as we landed, I raced to Lewis's bookstore, my heart pounding with hope. This was the third time I'd come here, and each time was filled with such different emotions. But this time, I wasn't in a rush. That's silly, Louis. Suddenly, someone stepped out and blocked my way. It was Antoine. You're stubborn. A beautiful young lady, but so thoughtless. But you should know, if it's not me, you're not allowed to belong to anyone else. I started to panic. He seemed completely unhinged. You know what? I'm not scared of you. Stupid you think. What? I turned around and saw a dog, growling fiercely right at Antoine. Get away. Stay away from me, you filthy thing. The dog was protecting me. Soon Antoine was running away in fear. Good dog, thanks. Where's your owner? Hey, wait a minute. I ran straight into the park, and there I saw a familiar figure. Louis looked surprised to see me, but then he smiled gently. How was your vacation? Hope you still have the other shoe, because this dog is mine. So, it's yes. Yes, I fell for the image of a clumsy girl in the park, absorbed in the story I wrote, from the very first time I saw you. Despite some difficulties, in the end, it happened just as I wanted. When we meet the right person, the universe rejoices. 2. Sis, help me. Bella, grab my hand. Bella, my senses are dazed and numb. I'm trying to control my breathing. Ouch, my head is pounding like crazy. I have never felt pain like this in my entire life. She's awake, finally awake. But why am I in the hospital? Stella, my girl. Mum and Dad rush over, grabbing my hand while I'm still completely out of it. What happened? I thought my name was Bella. Or is it Stella? I don't even know anymore. They look horrified, but I can't remember anything. My brain feels like it's stuffed with mud. Hi, I'm Stella. Yeah, now I remember my name. I woke up in a hospital one day with no memory, except that I have a twin. I woke up to the smell of disinfectant and a blinding white ceiling. A woman, my mum, she said, was crying by my bedside. She told me I'd been in a coma for 2 weeks after a nasty accident. My twin sister Bella was still unconscious. Bella. The name felt familiar, yet so distant. Mum told me that Bella and I are identical. When we were little, she said even our parents couldn't tell us apart if we swapped clothes. We've always been close, right, Mum? She nodded, tears welling up again. Yes, of course. Sweetie. 2 weeks later, I was discharged. I walked around what they called home, touching furniture, smelling old books, trying to spark a single memory. But my mind was a total blank. I wandered into Bella's room. It was a sanctuary of peace. Walls were covered with her beautiful landscape paintings, and shelves were lined with trophies from art competitions. Bella, what a gentle, talented soul. I felt a strange sense of pride. Then, I saw a small notebook on her desk. A diary. I hesitated, feeling like an intruder. But maybe it could help me remember. I'm sorry, Bella. I opened the first page, and my heart sank. The words, scrawled across the paper, were filled with terror. Why do they treat me like this? I didn't do anything to them. I'm scared to go to school. They're always on my tail. I just want to hide in my room and never go out. My sister, my gentle sister, was being bullied. Page after page detailed the hell she went through, all at the hands of a girl named Becky. A cold fury started to build inside me. Did the accident? Did it have something to do with them? That night, I went back to the hospital to visit Bella. I sat by her bed, stroking her small, pale face. Looking at my sweet, innocent sister lying there, so still, I made a promise. Bella, I swear I'll make those bullies pay for what they did to you. The next day, I told my parents I wanted to go back to school. They were worried, of course, saying I'd just gotten out of the hospital, but I insisted. Eventually, they gave in. Becky, I'm coming for you. The next morning, I stood in front of the mirror, dressed in Bella's clothes, my hair down just like hers. When my mum saw me, she jumped. What? Just playing our old game, swapping clothes, I said, trying to sound cheerful. Hi, Mum. Walking into the school felt strange. Nothing looked familiar. My dad had given me a whole lecture before I left. Stella, remember what I said. If any bullies approach, you must not. Yeah, Dad, I know, I'm late. Bye, P.O. Honestly, going back to school was kind of exciting. It beat being cooped up at home all day. But just as I was trying to find my locker, someone tripped me. I stumbled, my books flying everywhere. Welcome back to hell. I looked up, a girl, with sharp eyes and a black leather jacket was sneering down at me, looking all smug. Wow, still alive after that accident? How did she know? Could she be? Her friends giggled behind her. One whispered, Yo, she's glaring at you. I'm so scared. Another added, maybe the accident changed her. I feel so guilty. Should I apologize or something? Then the girl in the jacket leaned down. Don't you even say hi to Becky. Becky, it was her, the monster from Bella's diary. I had no doubt she was involved in the accident too. I got to my feet, dusting myself off. Remember this, I said, my voice cold as ice. I am your worst nightmare. I shoved past her, knocking her shoulder hard. Ouch, let's see who's scared of whom now. That was my declaration of war. I was going to make them taste every bit of the suffering they put Bella through. My first class was art. Of course, Becky was there, ready to cause trouble. Miss, she said, raising her hand with a sickeningly sweet smile. I don't know how to draw. Can Bella come up and show us? The teacher, unaware, agreed. Becky and her crew looked so smug, my heart pounded. What now? Bella can draw, but I can't. My cover was about to be blown. Genius, why don't you demonstrate for the class? Becky taunted. Her friends started chanting, Bella, Bella. My legs felt like jelly as I walked to the front. What could I draw? I was no artist. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. I thought about faking a stomachache, anything to get out of it. Look at the genius. Shaking in her boots, one of Becky's friends snickered. What? Forgot how to draw. Desperate, I grabbed a handful of pastels and just started scribbling. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through my head. I felt dizzy, and strange images flashed through my mind. A spray can, a brick wall, graffiti. Before I even realized what was happening, my hand was moving on its own, reproducing the vibrant, chaotic art I was seeing in my head. When I stepped back, the class was silent. Then, someone whispered, Bella, you're so cool. I looked at the board. I had drawn an incredible piece of graffiti art. How? How was that possible? All day, my mind buzzed about that painting. What did that flash of memory mean? After school, Becky and her gang were waiting for me by the gates. Just as they started towards me, a car pulled up. It was Mum, sweetheart. Let's go home. I shot Becky an icy glare before getting in. But this time she didn't look smug. She looked suspicious, confused. When we got home, I told my parents about my run-in with Becky and how I'd stood up to her. I expected them to be proud, but instead, Mum snapped. Where were they taking you? You're not well enough for school yet. Dad chimed in. You'd better listen to your mum. What? They were acting as if I was the one at fault. As if I'd just follow those bullies anywhere. My parents were definitely overthinking it. But it wasn't the only time I noticed something odd about them. I stayed home for the next few days, cooped up in my room, tried to recreate the graffiti painting from my vision, but it was no use. The memory was gone, leaving no trace. I ran out of paint, so I went looking for more. While searching, I found a dusty old storage room above the laundry area. I didn't even remember it existed. Amnesia is weird. I found some paints and was about to leave when I saw a cool-looking black leather jacket hanging on a hook. It was just like the one I saw in my vision. I brought everything downstairs, dusted off the jacket, and tried it on. It fit perfectly. Hey, Looks good, doesn't it? I said, spinning in front of the mirror. Suddenly, Mum rushed over, her face pale. Stella, why are you wearing that? Take it off, now. She practically ripped the jacket off me. What's your deal? It's just an old jacket, Mom, but she just stared at it with a look of pure fear. Something was definitely wrong.
Mum just stormed off after our argument. I swear, my parents are hiding something from me. I tried to get answers, but they just shut down. It's so frustrating. If they won't talk, there's only one other person who might know what's going on. Becky. The problem is, how am I supposed to meet her when I'm grounded from school? Before the sun was even up, I was at the underpass. It was freezing and pitch black. This place gives me the creeps. Suddenly, I felt a presence behind me. Someone's following me. I ducked just in time to dodge an attack. Nice try, I said, turning round. Sneak attacks are so low, Becky. Just then, Becky and her whole gang stepped out from the shadows. But something was off. Instead of her usual cocky attitude, she was crying. Hey, I didn't even touch her. I'm innocent. I swear. Before I could process what was happening, Becky ran forward and threw her arms around me in a tight hug. Big sis. She sobbed. What did she just call me? I was completely bewildered. It's really you, she cried, pulling back to look at me. Only you and I know that second-degree karate move. Don't you remember anything at all? This used to be our hangout spot. And why are you dressed like that, little girl? Bella. I was completely stunned by her words. Bella? Who's Bella? I took a step back, my head spinning. As I turned, my eyes landed on some graffiti on the wall, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. I'd seen it before. Suddenly, a severe headache hit me like a ton of bricks, and everything went black. I collapsed. And then, it all came rushing back. The memories flooded my mind, playing out like a movie. I saw everything from that day. I was there, yelling, "Why are you bullying me? You're my sister, Stella. You and your friends, why do you hate me so much?" Another voice, a younger me, screamed back, "It's all your fault. Mum and Dad only care about you. I hate being your sister." I saw myself push her away, but she clung to my wrist, her eyes wide with fear. "Sis, help me." The scene shifted. The screech of tires, the chaos. It was me. I caused the accident, all because I was jealous of my own sister. Overwhelmed with guilt and panic, I had run home. I remembered hearing my parents arguing in the living room. Can't we hide it from her anymore? I'm so tired of dealing with this. My dad's voice was strained. My mum replied, "It's time we told her the truth." And then my own voice, small and broken, from the doorway emerged. I know everything already. When I finally woke up, I was still numb, but the fog was gone. I remembered everything. The whispers at school. That girl is her sister, but not even half as good as Bella. Yeah, such a shame. The constant praise from my parents always directed at her. Oh, our daughter, you're our greatest pride. Bella, Bella, Bella. It was always about her. Why? And then I remembered Bella's voice, soft and genuine. Sis, I love you more than anything. Oh, Bella, I'm so sorry. Later, I talked to my parents. We all did. We're so sorry, Stella. We were wrong, they said, their faces filled with regret. We decided to wait until Bella wakes up from her coma before we even think about moving. After the accident, after finally remembering the truth, I understood what family really means. It's not about being the best or the favorite. It's about love and forgiveness. Let's start over, Bella. Please just wake up.